viewers, I am out with the moon video. So sorry for being late. It's been a few days. I was working on this video, but today I am ready and out with it. Today is a very good day. It's the Shukla Pratipada, so it starts the waxing cycle of the moon that culminates in Purnima. So this is a very first day of that cycle, and what better day to be out with the moon video. So let's begin. Moon, in the Sanskrit texts, the classics, moon is called the creator of mind. Chandrama manso jayate. That means moon is the creator of the mind. Now, as you think about mind, there are many different layers of the mind, right? The first thing that comes up is thoughts. Thoughts are running in our mind all the time. And then there is emotions, right? And it is important because we act under the influence of those things. Then the next layer, if you say so, will be the more sophisticated functions of the mind. So such as reasoning, logic, interpretation, comprehension. Then you have more creative aspects of mind, like imagination. Then there is memory. There is memory formation. And then there is the way of retrieval from the memory. So all those things come under the domain of mind. Rather, to put it simply, the way we feel, the way we experience the outer world is through our inner world, and that inner world is the mind. So it is often regarded as the inner self or the heart of the individual. So it governs the emotional reactions. It also gives us mental clarity, and it tells us about our subconscious tendencies. So therefore, moon in Vedic astrology is a very important planet that will tell us every individual is different in all these aspects, and the placement of moon will tell us how it is different, how we process our emotions, how we act under the influence of that, how we react to a particular situation, how we process the information that we are always exposed to. That is the implication, that is the significance of moon in a horoscope. So if you see your moon, if you construct your Vedic horoscope and then you look at which house it is placed and which sign it is placed, it'll give you a comprehensive idea about your mind's working, how you process information, what are the predominant thoughts that arise in your mind. All those things can be predicted with some kind of certainty by looking at the moon's position in a horoscope. So I plan to split this video into two because the last one, the sun video, was very, very long, and I think most of us don't have time to watch the whole video at one go. So I would split this video into two. First, like today, I'm gonna discuss about the implication of a moon in different houses, and then I'll post another video with the signs, what implications each sign will have when moon is placed in that sign. So let's begin. Now, moon, let's talk about the moon in first house. Moon in first house. So first house is self, right? Yourself, your physical existence is the first house. And when moon is placed in the first house, then that person deeply connects with his or her own self, the emotional self here we are talking about. So they are attached to their emotional self. They're attached to who they perceive they are, their personality, and they're often there is a phrase called that person wears their emotions on their sleeves. So that is moon in first house. These people are very emotional, and on the positive side, they could be very highly sensitive. They could be empathetic, and they could be responsive to their environment, which in a negative way you may also consider as reactive. So they're very quick in the response. And because of the reason that first house is the self, so their mental state is very tightly connected to their physical well-being. So if they feel depressed, if they feel anxious, then they are deeply affected in their physicality, in their health. So they also experience mood swings. Their emotions change, and because of that, their physical self, the health, also gets affected. That's moon in first house. So you can, in a nutshell, you can say that these people are like highly reactive, highly sensitive. On the positive side, they're intuitive as well, and they're emotionally expressive. That's moon in first house. Now, moving on to moon in second house. Now, second house governs speech. Second house is the house of family. Second house is the house of your accumulated wealth. So when the moon is in second house, that person feels emotionally secure when they're with family. So their family situation deeply impacts their emotional security, and also how much material resources they have. They're very attached to that. So they want to feel secure. So they want to feel that they have enough all the time, and that is related to their feeling of security. I mean, for everybody, but these people are more prone to think like that. So they may seek material comfort through financial security, financial stability. And also another thing, these people are great foodies, so they like to have good food. And their speech is very pleasant because they have moon in the second house. So second house governs our speech. So they are very, very well respected for how they come across, how their speech is very pleasant. People like them for their speech. So these people can be seen as having a very deep attachment to their family, their home, and a very, very strong emotional bond with their possessions, whatever they have accumulated. As it could be material wealth, it could be other things which they possess, and they want to keep it tight to their heart. So in a nutshell, that could be moon in second house: emotional attachment to family, speech, and material comforts. But these people may be prone to emotional eating or seeking comfort in food. Like when they're stressed, they may go out and eat, and that might make them feel better. So that's moon in second house. Now, if you have moon in third house relates to communication, siblings. Third house, in terms of psychology, third house also shows mental agility. So moon here suggests a person who is emotionally influenced by their siblings, by their immediate environment. These individuals may have a curious and adaptable mind, but their emotions also can be easily triggered by communication or like short-term interactions. They get triggered by those things. That's moon in third house, because they are their mind processes information in a way that they feel that they need to give a response right now. So that's how they get triggered. And they also because third house is agile, they also change their thoughts and feelings. Now this, immediately after, it could be a different response. So they are changeable. We can say they are changeable. Their opinions and thoughts are changeable. And also, a moon in third house, they are emotionally connected to siblings and close relationships. They are also communicative, but moon in third house also gives them a restless mind. That has to be also considered. Their mind is not calm or quiet. There is some waves coming in all the time, because they're reactive to their immediate environment. That also makes them anxious in a way. So that's moon in third house. Moon in fourth house is the best placement, I would say, because if you think about it, moon is the lord of the Cancer sign, which is the fourth sign of the natural zodiac. So moon in fourth house is very, very comfortable and very, very peaceful. Now, moon also represents several things in several other things in Vedic astrology, but in this video we are only talking about the mind. Like moon represents the mother, but here we are not going into that. Fourth house is home and the domestic environment. When we are growing up, that's our childhood and family during childhood. So the person who has moon in fourth house may find comfort and emotional security in their domestic life. The mental state is deeply tied to homeland, the place of their birth, and their family, their ancestry. There can be strong emotional attachment to the mother, or mother has a big influence on that person's mental state. So this person, whenever they get stressed out or feels things are getting a little bit challenging, they should call their mother, talk to the mother, go to the mother and be with the mother for some time. They will feel relieved. So fourth house moon is all about nurturing and maternal influences. That's why these people are very family oriented, or also they tend to be nostalgic as well. Their emotions are more like thinking about the previous times when things were very good, very they felt protected. That's moon in fourth house. Now moving on to moon in fifth house. Fifth house moon is associated with creativity, intellect, intelligence, those aspects of the mind. These people are more inclined to cultivate those areas of the mind. So they find expression through creativity. They are more prone to following some kind of artistic way of expression. They're also naturally romantic, because fifth house is for romance, and they're very emotional about their romantic partner. They have a very good relationship with their own children. They have emotional attachment to their children, and they always have this desire to create something new and nurture. So their mind is imaginative. They have very good intuitive abilities, and they're creative people. So their emotional nature is romantic and emotionally creative, intuitive, and also they are very sensitive to the needs of their romantic partners or their own children, and they are very emotionally attached to them and always thinking of their well-being. So that's moon in fifth house. switching to moon in sixth house. Sixth house is not a good house. Sixth house is the house of difficulties, and but also sixth house is the house of service. Sixth house is the house of disease. That means health, and our enemies. That means our competitors. So with our mind in that house, this is not a good placement for the mind. So mind will be always restless, always anxious, always worried. So that is one aspect of it. But at the same time, this person maybe their emotions are linked to their work. Like sixth house is also the house of daily work, daily routine. So service to others. So maybe they are very emotionally attached to those things. They are attached to service to others. That's the good part. And if you think about it in another way, these people may be emotionally stressed from their daily work. That is also possible. And these people can also have a little bit of tendency towards the mental health concerns. They can get depressed. They can be worrying all the time about some outcomes that they don't like, and which is not realistic, but they keep thinking about it. So they have a tendency to worry about their work, their health, their daily routine, and maybe it's a good idea for these people to stick to a structured daily routine in order to keep their mind stable. If they fall off that routine, then they start worrying and going into all these negative emotions. So they have to be careful to stress coming from work, like emotional stress, or they could also get emotionally stressed if they have a little bit of health related issues whenever that arises, and they're possible to they're prone to anxiety, and on the good side, these people are emotionally driven to serve other people or help others. So that's moon in sixth house. Now moving on to the seventh house. Seventh house represents partnerships, collaborations. Seventh house also represents marriage. And seventh house is the house of people. So people to people interactions are our interactions with the public. So that's seventh house. Now moon in seventh house, that suggests that individual's emotional life is deeply influenced by partnerships or their relationship. There's a need for there's a need for emotional fulfillment through connections, be it with connections with other people or their partner or their business partnership or personal partnerships. There's a need for emotional fulfillment coming through those interactions, and depending on the nature of those relationships, this person's mind, the mental state, might get they get affected. They may feel very down when those relationships are not going well. They just cannot shrug off and move on. So they have to be very invested in relationships and very careful about their relationships, and therefore they always seek nurturing. They always want to find empathy, and they want others to feel they want to feel valued in any kind of relationship. That's moon in seventh house. Now the most difficult house, moon in eighth house. Now eighth house is a house of transformation. house of longevity. Eighth house is a very complicated house, very complex house. So it has a lot of different significations, including shared resources. It's also like the wealth house of your spouse, because second from the seventh. So it has many different things, but the most important thing is it's the house of crisis. All the kinds of bad things that happen to us can be seen from the eighth house. So the presence of moon there, that makes it very complicated, because this person is emotionally attached to those things. So they are, we can say, these people are highly introspective, because they want to go deep inside within themselves and find out what is happening, what is the true cause of things. So they are very, very introspective, and they have deep emotional connections to these topics that the eighth house represents, like life and death, the hidden aspect of the life. They're also very interested in occult sciences, astrology, and all these things. And sometimes they are drawn to careers which involve a crisis management and all that, like crisis to people. That sort of emotionally affects them. So they also look for intense, secretive exchanges, which are emotionally transformative. It's complex, right? So they can go deep psychologically. So they actually can be good healers, because they can help other people heal their trauma or their emotional ups and downs. These people can help with them. So they are intense, well, they are emotionally transformative, but they have a deep interest in transformative experiences. So that's a little bit complicated, but I guess I could simplify it a little bit. So moon in 8th house. Moon in 9th house is a very good position. These people tend to be philosophical. Their mind is always looking for knowledge, hungry for knowledge, higher education. And their emotional fulfillment is found through intellectual pursuits, studying religion, scriptures, or they could also feel happy when they're traveling. Ninth house is for long distance travel, so they could travel, and when they're stressed out, maybe go out and travel, and they will feel peaceful again, bring back to their baseline. So their emotional state may be tied to also their religious beliefs, or these people are always looking to develop their own philosophical outlook on life. So they are always looking for a guru or a mentor, or they are very good mentors themselves. They want to tell people about their own philosophical beliefs. So that's moon in 9th house. They sort of like get emotionally gratified if they are delving in those realms of philosophy, spirituality, and higher education, travel, and like exchanging cultural aspects with others, and those kind of things. Now, moon in 10th house is, of course, 10th house is the house of career, public life, public recognition, and moon in 10th means their emotional well-being is tied to these things. So whenever they achieve a professional success, they are happy and vibrant and joyful. These individuals will, their mind will try to seek emotional fulfillment through their career. So they are always very aware of how they're perceived publicly in their public life. They are also, that makes them very sensitive to their reputation, to their status and prestige, and they're very, very sensitive to that and are very aware of that and take care of that image not to be touched or tarnished in any ways, and always trying to improve on it. So that's moon in 10th house, and they're emotionally driven to succeed in their whatever they're doing in their career or social standing, and they often look for validation from the public or from people in high places like authority figures and stuff. So that's 10th house. So they are people who are very aware of their public image. Now, moon in 11th house, that's pretty good. 11th house is the house of friendships, social networks. In today's day and age, we can call the social media and the networks that people always engage in. And 11th house also has the aspect of rewards and long-term goals. So moon here indicates emotional fulfillment found through these aspects of life, through friendships, through social media. So these people are like they have emotional need to participate in these group activities. So they are always on their social media looking at how many likes their posts are getting, how many people are sharing, and sort of like they feel gratified from those things. So when these people are in a social gathering, they feel the best, and they also have a flair for community involvement, and that also gives them some kind of emotional fulfillment. And sometimes they also feel like if all these things are in place, they are good, but if not, they are emotionally down. So the negative side of this placement is that their emotional ups and downs are related to the expectations of others. Like if the others say that, okay, you are doing great, then they feel good about themselves. But if the others say, oh, you look down, then they really feel down. That kind of stuff. That's moon in 11th house. But they're very connected to their friends. So that's one good thing. And moon in 12th house. 12th house is not a good house from one sense, but from another sense is the house of spirituality. So 12th house also shows the working of our subconscious. So moon in this house can show that the mind here, the emotional world needs to be hidden. These people are not very forthcoming, sharing about their own, what's going on in their mind. They want to keep it hidden, and therefore these people sometimes are very difficult to understand for other people. And these people are they have a deep connection to their own unconscious mind, where they you can say they are highly intuitive. They can get in touch of their own emotions, which are actually hidden, which are not on the surface. And they will always find comfort in solitude. They want to be by themselves. There is a party going on, I'm not going. I'm good. I'm good here by myself. So these people are their thoughts, their emotions, they like to process that in private. They don't want to come out in the open and cry in the public. They are like, they will be in solitude, and they will be processing their own mind's workings privately, and not ready to share with others. They are also highly introspective, and they are also sensitive people. But there is a tendency towards emotional escapism, if you say so, because they don't want to face the absolute reality right away. They want to brood on it, they want to deny it, they want to escape from it, and they want to process that in solitude, in private. So that's moon in 12th house. So I would say there are pluses and minuses in all these placements. So this is only very general in nature. I also posted a sun placement video, so that'll give you an idea about the soul's purpose, and this is to give you an idea about how the mind is working, how we experience the world around us. And then the next one is the Rahu and Ketu coming up, so stay tuned for that. And after all these 3 videos are done, then I'm gonna bring up an example chart and show you how we can actually know the individual pretty well by looking at their sun's placement, the moon's placement, and Rahu Ketu's placement. Of course, there are other planets and there are signs, there are many different aspects to Vedic astrology, but on a very crude general level, as a first line of analysis, we can get a pretty good idea about the individual by looking at these 3 things. So stay tuned for my next video. Until then, you can go back and watch my sun video. I will post the link in the description section of this video. And if you like the content, please like this video and please share with your friends and family, and then comment what kind of videos you want me to make. That will inspire me to make more videos, and I am very grateful for you watching this video. Namaskar and God bless.